again. Of course, this is part two of It's Just Me, hosted by Brent Fox. Today's date, of course, is Thursday, the 18th of July of 2024. Now, once again, this second part of the episode is also brought to you by Straight Drop. Y'all go get it. Okay, so just kind of picking up where I left off. Of course, we want the offense to pick up for the Steelers, um, and then of course the defense. I think is going to do what it normally does, which is hold opponents to maybe under 24 points, and it gives the offense an opportunity to and it'll help the offense hopefully by being better gives the defense an opportunity to play with not so much pressure on them. I think a huge thing that has sorely been underestimated is the special teams aspect of it. Not only have we picked up Cordero Patterson, who is a return specialist, we also picked up a punter from Houston. The guy's name escapes me right now. Blame it on my head, not my heart. But this particular person I do know is a lot more consistent than Presley Harvin. Not Harvin. Yeah, Presley Harvin. Yeah. He was a lot more consistent than Presley Harvin, but this gentleman, because of that, will probably help flip the field to where the defense can play a little bit more comfortably as well and not have to worry about whether or not the punt is actually going to wind up going 30 yards or if it's going to probably wind up going 50. We just did not need, hey, Coach 67, salute, brother. We just do not need that type of instability on special teams, and I think the punter that we acquired from Houston is really going to help us out. We picked up Tyler Medikevich, which Steelers fans know as Dirty Red. He is a special teams specialist who primarily gets down the field and makes plays. This is a huge pickup for us special team wise. He also blocks punts, which is great. And along with what's our guy's name? Picked him up from Detroit, and he is a special teams whiz as well. Plays safety for us. Dang, his name will come. His name will come to me. But yeah, we got two special team studs now. One that blocks kicks, one that blocks punts. Both actually run down the field and make tackles for us on special teams. So I think those two additions are actually going to be, well, that addition is actually going to be huge. Um, Now, I think, okay, I think with this new kickoff rule, we're probably destined to see maybe a few more special teams touchdowns. I think on the punting side of it, it's pretty much going to remain the same. But I think our boy Calvin Austin the third is actually still going to return punts. I think Cordero is going to do kickoffs though. But yeah, I'm kind of excited to see what happens with that particular situation. And y'all, please don't look for Justin Fields to be returning kicks or punts. He is a quarterback. I think Coach Tomlin is actually going to take him seriously as a quarterback, and he's not going to do what Bill Cowher did and just make Justin Fields slash 2.0. Now, having said that, I do think that there are going to definitely be packages made to utilize the talents of Justin Fields, but I don't think returning kicks is going to be one of them, y'all. Come on now. But needless to say, I'm very excited about the season. Camp starts next week. I think it's on the 25th for us, so can't wait to see that. Now, on to another dry sport, which is actually boxing. Last week, we were treated to Jerron Boots Ennis fighting. And I think it was David Abernesian, who is best known as like a Terrence Crawford victim. I think that Boots got Abernesian out around before Bud Crawford did, so there are a lot of Bud Crawford comparisons and things of that nature. To be quite honest with you, my opinion, and this is just my opinion, as of right now, Jerron Boots Ennis, who is a fine fighter, and pause on that statement. He's a very good fighter. All right. Uh, I think he probably needs maybe two or three more fights, and each has to go up in tier, and then he can probably try and challenge, Terrence Crawford. I think that Terrence Crawford has proven himself to be a generational type fighter, and we just don't take that lightly. Now, Boots does actually have the potential to be generational as well, and I do actually like the matchup. But unlike some other fans that are actually just very excited about the possibility of them fighting, I think that you have to respect the process. And the process is to have Boots maybe take a couple of more fights, maybe even three maximum, okay? Two or three maximum. Three is the maximum. But at least two more fights. And then he may be able to effectively challenge Terrence Crawford. Um, I just don't think that he's ready yet. The defense needs to be tuned up a bit, and I do understand that he is very good defensively, but he just doesn't need to be in a situation to where he's too comfortable getting hit. Um, we saw what Bud Crawford did to Earl Spence, um, and he was comfortable hitting Earl Spence. And but to be quite honest with you, Bud actually took a few shots just to kind of see where Spence's power was, and once he found out that he didn't have to respect it, Bud pretty much did what he wanted to do with my guy. Earl Spence is still my guy, just to be clear on that. And just because he took a sound defeat does not mean that I'm going to abandon him as a supporter. I still got my T-shirt. I'm gonna still wear it wherever I go, and I'm gonna still be supportive of Earl Spence. I have been supportive of Terrence Bud Crawford. I have paid for pay-per-views for Terrence Bud Crawford. Um, there was we even there was a Mikey Garcia fight that took place just maybe 11, 12 years ago, and Bud Crawford was on that card. Um, I knew then that Bud was a guy to actually watch. I think it was just after that Bradis Prescott fight, um, and I knew that he was a guy to watch. So shouts out to Bud and congratulations to him for his success. And I can't wait to see what he actually does on August the 2nd when he gets ready to fight Madrimov, I believe. And I think that's in LA. A lot of people, I think, are saying that that's in Saudi Arabia, but I think that's in LA. I don't think that they moved it from LA to Saudi Arabia, but I believe it's in LA. Excuse me. Okay. Um, Now, there are there were some other fights that were actually looming on the horizon. Um, And I don't even know whether or not I should actually be discussing this particular fight, but Jake Paul is fighting a gentleman from from a bare knuckle league, um, whose name is also Mike. Um, okay, so we have interruption number two. Okay, give me just a second, guys. Sorry. My fault, y'all. If y'all can still hear me. My son, of course, is needing some stuff done for himself. He don't care whether or not daddy recording. Um, once again, y'all, real life person, real circumstances.
Aw.
So, at any rate, I
Daddy!
think that
Daddy, it's bird, Daddy.
okay, yes, it's a bird, son.
Bird, hi.
All right. Now,
Bird, hi.
now I don't even know if the I think the Jake Paul Mike whoever fight has actually been moved to Tampa, Florida. I don't think that it's any longer here in the Metroplex. I think that once Mike Tyson checked out of that particular fight for the time being, Jerry was like, "Nah, we're not having that here." So I think that Jake Paul will be fighting in Tampa, Florida, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but yeah, needless to say, I don't think that there's too much that would probably go into that on my end as far as covering that. Yes, there is a spectacle of whether or not he can actually beat somebody like an older or an advanced aged Mike Tyson. But again, um, that I guess that will have to remain to be seen until possibly October. Um, so there you have that. Uh, let's see. Really, you want some camera time? Here you go.
Yes.
You want camera time?
Yes.
Say hi.
Hi.
Okay. You're on the internet now, son.
Yes.
No, okay. So yes, you understand that you're on the internet.
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right. So let Daddy get back to the show, and I'm gonna close it up. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Go back out there. Daddy's gonna close the show, and then I'm gonna come out there with you. Okay.
No. I suck at poor Spider-Man, Daddy.
Of course. Well, hey, big part of being a parent is having to put somebody else's needs above your own. Um, what I'm gonna do probably at this point, because my son is gonna continue to be an interruption, is I am going to just try to wrap this up as neatly as possible given the circumstances. Um, there's not much on the boxing front. I think that Alexis Rocha is taking on a gentleman by the name of, I think it's Damian Santiago. Santiago is 27-0. And then, of course, Alexis Rocha is the guy that's best known for beating up on Blair Cobbs and being a golden boy prospect in the process of that. But excuse me, I'm sorry. I think that fight is at welterweight, if I'm not mistaken. So it should be a pretty good little bout, and it should add maybe a little bit more spice to the welterweight division at this point in time. Um, so that I think that's a fight to kind of look forward to. ESPN Plus also has a card on it. I think the other Nakatami, who's at bantamweight, is the main event, and they'll be fighting on ESPN Plus. I don't think that they'll be fighting on regular ESPN. So there's a fight there. Um, I'm not sure which other marquee fights um, will be available, but I'm sure that there are probably maybe some local fights here in the Dallas Fort Worth area that may be going on. And I think that I'll probably try to see if I can maybe do a better job of tracking those fights and just kind of giving information on when those fights are going to be, where they are, things of that nature. So yeah, I think that's a good personal challenge for myself. Just kind of keep my ear to the street and figure out, if there are any local fights going on over here that we should know about in the Dallas Fort Worth area, of course. I want to thank you guys for actually tuning in. I want to salute to my brother Jared O11 Green. If you're still here, brother, thank you so much for all your support. I really do appreciate it. And of course, this has been another edition of It's Just Me, hosted by Brent Fox. I'll see y'all later.